All right, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing today? Hey, want to thank you for tuning in to Sports Talk with BWatts Entertainment, along with RobDaManMedia, Coach Drake, and we have a special guest tonight. That is Duke the Scoop. On three, Phillip Dukes himself will be our special guest. Hey, I want to thank this broadcast is brought to you by Mary's Banks, right there in Jackson, Georgia. If you need, or your banking need, if you need checking, saving, or CD, or a loan, contact 770-775-8300. And if you would like to sponsor or advertise during this broadcast, contact me at cbwatts1 at AOL.com. We appreciate you for doing that. All right? All right. Come on, computer, don't start now. Let me get that off. All right.
Yo,
All right. What's up, dude? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Good.
you good. Phil, can you hear me?
He on mute.
You on mute?
Can y'all hear me?
All right,
Yep,
good.
yep.
All
You
right,
good now?
Oh,
all right. Hey, like I say, appreciate y'all for joining me tonight. Got an exciting show tonight. Get a couple of rundown of what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be talking about Coach Prime and Colorado Buffaloes football team, and along with we're gonna look at five five games on their schedule, and also we're gonna look at 5 games out through college football, and then we'll pivot after that and look into rapid fire. One of the questions I got, I'm gonna throw out there. Also for the people in the chat, we're gonna look at the state of Florida. One of the questions I'm gonna throw out there is who had a better career, Brandon Spike from the University of Florida Gators or Derrick Brooks from Florida State. So let's get this show on the road. Waiting on Coach Dre. I don't see him yet.
Let's go.
Okay, he good. All right, check this out, guys. Coach Prime has added another NFL veteran coaching person to his staff. That's Darius Thomas. He played with him at Baltimore in 2004 and 2005. He was a linebacker at New England Patriots at 2010. He went to college at Southern Mississippi. He was defensive player there as a junior and a senior. He was drafted as a sixth-round draft pick by the Baltimore Ravens in 2000. What do y'all think about the addition that Coach Prime has made to his coaching staff with Thaddeus Thomas? Dukes, you all get started off.
yeah, I just think you can never have too much NFL experience. When you look at what Adelius Thomas was able to do with the Ravens, I always talk about being important for edge rushers. He was one of the guys who basically is the epitome of being able to get to a point and getting around that edge. And there's a point when you're edge rushing where if you can't put your foot in the ground and get on the diagonal beeline to the quarterback, you're gonna overrun the quarterback. Doesn't matter how athletic you are. If you can't have that bend to get that bend back, and I think Adelius Thomas, that's something that he had naturally, but it's also something I feel like he worked at, and it'll be something that he can give to the pass rushers on the Buffalo. So I think it was an excellent hire. You take him, you add him to a Warren Sapp, you just added guys with more NFL experience. Now you got the inside out, type of relationship where the edge rushers are made more successful by who? The interior defensive linemen. So I
True.
think having those two guys together kind of expound upon what really makes a defensive line go. I think it's going to be huge for the Buffaloes, and I think he was a great hire.
All right.
And you
Rob?
you got to you got to love this addition. You're helping out your bucks, your outside linebackers, your DNs in that situation become better. It's give you more versatility on their coaching staff. Now it's not on one person. When you look at like last year, it was all on Coach Sal and Nick. Or this year, you got 4 people in that room that you're counting on to get the job done. So it's just another great addition to the roster of coaching, the experience from the NFL level to come down to the college level. They're putting everything into the season. Now it's all about just going out, executing the game plan, and getting W's.
Okay. All right. Hey, when I was looking at Well Off Media and Reach the People, they showed some videos this week on that one-on-one. When I saw Zach Thomas on this offensive line, he's a transfer from Clemson. Man, look at his feet work, his hand work, his upper body strength. The dude look good, man. The dude. What y'all think about Zach Thomas? Zach Owens.
Flat Jack, man, they went in and got the offensive line. You got to give credit, to this recruiting staff for going out there, executing the game plan, to get these type of guys in, especially a guy from Clemson. You don't rarely see a lot of Clemson players transferring out of Clemson. So to get a player from Clemson, he's going up against some competition. He's also, friends with, the hood. So, and went to college. So, not college, but high school with them. So, it's another just key piece of just the brotherhood that they're trying to build, the family atmosphere they're trying to build in Colorado. When you look at, Flapjack and what he's going to bring to the table, I guarantee you this: he's going to compete for that starting position. Don't think it's going to be sold up. He coming to compete for that starting spot.
Yeah, I just think Flapjack is one of those insanely athletic guys. In high school, man, he seeing how big he was. I don't know if you guys know, but he was in that 370 to 380 range. So, for him, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what weight they want him to play at, and if they end up playing him at the inside. He's a guy. Could you imagine him being a pulling guard? He's got the feet to do it. And so I just think, like, if you can get him into the 360 range, 350, 360, somewhere in there, I think he's about 6'5.5", maybe somewhere in there. You get him in that 350 range, then you got yourself something. And I think that Deion knows what he's doing. Coach Prime, the offense, Pat Sherman's seen it all before. Nothing he hasn't seen when it comes to these guys who have those NFL frames. So I think he's another good piece. And then you think about another kid, like you put him with Peyton Kirkland, like as far as just having the size to lean on somebody in the fourth quarter, which I think is important in big time college football, is do you have the offensive line that when you need, fourth and short or fourth and one or fourth and inch, you just lean on somebody and get it. That's what made Nick Saban good. That's what made Kirby Smart good. And I think eventually that's what's going to make Colorado good.
Oh yeah, I like it, dude. I would love to see him at that guard position because that was one thing Colorado was weak at last year. The game that I saw, they couldn't handle the pass rush up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at the center now, Big Hank look bigger. He looks stronger up the middle right now. So man, I would love to see that. That means somebody gonna have to come play on the second team, but that's a good thing because last year we couldn't have that discussion. We just took whatever we had.
Yeah, you gotta have 8 guys. You gotta have 8 guys that can play.
Okay.
You gotta have 8. You need a swing tackle, you need a swing guard, and somebody else who can snap the ball. Now, however you put those 3 together, maybe you got a guard who can snap. Maybe you got 2 swing guards and one of them can snap the ball. But you gotta have 8 to be successful because if not, and guys who are ready to play, and you're gonna have you gotta have a swing tackle. Point blank period. You got to have somebody. If a tackle gets hurt, because what's he doing? He's protecting the blind side of the quarterback.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you got to have that swing tackle. So the fact that's what I think has really been good. Even when y'all got Zach Owens at the end, like nobody saw that coming. We thought that it was done on the line because of how much you guys brought in.
Right.
When you bring in another guy like that, you just raise the level of play. Think about this. Dabo Swinney said there was nobody in the portal who could have played at Clemson.
Yeah.
Think about now, if Zach Owens wanted to stay at Clemson, that means that anybody else in the portal, he would have been at least good as or better than through Dabo Swinney's eyes. So I just think that when you raise the level of play, yeah, he may have been, a little further down the depth chart there as far as what they had going on. But when you raise the level of play all around, where you can have a guy like him, what if he's your 8th guy? That's a win. If he's your 7th guy, that's a win. And the guy, let's say he takes somebody's job, well, that means you got somebody with starting experience as the 6th or the 7th guy. And as long as they buy into the culture, all that does is make Colorado that much better. And I just think that the talent level has risen in Boulder. Y'all got something to look forward to.
Well, I'm glad. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, BWatts, I just want you to circle his name and put sleeper under him. A lot of people going to sleep on this kid, and he's going to come up and he's going to show why. Just put.
I didn't think he was like that. I thought he was gonna be too overweighted. But when I saw that video, I said, "Man."
Just put sleeper under his name, Because a lot of people that gonna do their depth chart predictions in a couple of weeks, they ain't even gonna mention his name. He's gonna end up being a valuable piece of this offensive line.
Okay. Hey, that was another part of the video I saw. And I made a big thing about this Saturday night. I went live Saturday night just to talk about this dude. My problem was with Colorado defense so far. I wanted to know who was going to play the opposite side cornerback of Travis Hunter. And I saw it. Now, it might not come true. And I even texted Duke. I said, Duke, boy, you told me that Colton Hood is that dude. This dude, boy, one-on-one, press coverage, boy, he might be the best. He just might be the best defensive back Colorado got.
Man, listen, I ain't
Colton Hood is that dude.
man. I told when we talked last time. I told you. I said first of all, he got the lineage. You know, Uncle Rod was a ball player. Pops could play. Brothers could play. Man, Colton Hood was a baller. Like, you know, and I talked to guys on Auburn, like they were like, "Hey man, Colton balling." And, you know, he's not no rah guy. So he ain't like, even where we from, like it's never like he was a baseball kid. He wasn't like the kid who was like in the street or he was hanging out. He wanted to play baseball. He wanted to play ball. But I like that about him. He never tried to be nobody that he wasn't. And so then when you see him on the field, a lot of times, Adrian Broner just did this the other day, right? So I don't know if y'all saw the Adrian Broner fight, but he got on there talking. He was telling what's my boy name? I forgot his name. Dude, but he was telling, oh, you ain't no street cat, so you ain't gonna be able to do this. So you need to understand that I got folks that's really busting guns and all that. When it ain't got whooped. And so a lot of times people think your blackness or how hood you are means how good you are. It got nothing to do with it. Man, Colton Hood is one of the best kids. If I had to pick one of these kids to date my niece, he'd be one of like if I gotta have somebody to date my niece. He's that type of kid. I don't want to date nobody. She ain't never got to date nobody as far as I'm concerned. But listen what I'm telling you. Folks be sleeping on Colton just because he got a really, really good boy next door type mentality. On that football field, he is the Tasmanian devil, bro. He don't care. He gonna press you. And every time he touch that ball, he trying to go to the crib with it. If you go back and look, I think somebody went and pulled up an old interview I did with him for about 2 years ago. And that's all he's talking about is, man, I don't even, he's like, man, I never wanted to play defense because I'm always trying to score. But then when I learned that I could score on defense and that I could really control the game, that's the mentality that he has. So when you see him, he's ultra competitive, he's physical, and his IQ is off the charts. I'm telling you, if he's not in y'all top 3 this year, that's a really, really good thing. If he ain't in y'all top 3 at cornerback, you know Trav got one. If he don't beat out the other guy, then that means you got a really, really good third cornerback. And dude, he could ball.
When you look at Colton Hood, I mean, he's pretty much at the top 3 corner right now. Trav, they're going to use Trav in a different perspective than what they did last year of leaving him on the outside. He's going to match up when they put their best players on the inside. Trav is going to match up on the inside, which is going to leave Colton Hood those opportunities, DJ McKinney's those opportunities, those pressing highs, those opportunities. So, man, you got to like what you're seeing when it comes to Colton Hood. A lot of people didn't know about him because all they heard was Auburn. They really didn't never turn the tape on, run to watch this kid. But as you see him on a day-to-day grind, you can tell he coming. And he's putting a lot of people on notice. If you ain't coming and you ain't bringing a lunch pill every day, I'm coming. All right. So one thing you gonna know is you gonna feel his presence out there on the field, and he ain't doing that much talking. He's just putting the work in and grinding it, and you getting to see it in the full light.
What's up, Coach Dre?
What's going on?
Hey, I just asked him about. I just told him about. I was looking at the Well Off Media and Reach the People video, looking at him one-on-one. Colton Hood looked real good.
The real deal. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. You talking about the cornerback position. You want to have 3 to 4, but you know Travis got a lockdown corner. You know Travis got a corner lockdown. We feel good about DJ, but this kid Hood gonna come in here and push the plate, and that's what you want. You want kids that's gonna push your next. You don't want nobody feeling comfortable. You don't want nobody to be comfortable. If you comfortable, then your team ain't going nowhere. If this guy feel like you need him, and he ain't got nobody behind him to work him or push him, then he gets comfortable. So you gotta be good with being uncomfortable, and Hood gonna make a lot of guys in that defensive back room uncomfortable. So it's a great problem for Coach Mathis and Coach Prime them to have right now.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all another one y'all got. R.J. Johnson.
Bro, okay, the safety.
I said that last week. I got him starting for Shiloh right now. That's what I got. I got him starting for Shiloh right now.
Ooh, you got to start over Riley.
Yeah, I got RJ.
Okay.
RJ's versatility.
I just like his versatility. I like his versatility, and what I'm telling you is, the SEC is the king of football, and when you get kids from that, when you get them SEC offers from them type of schools, most of them kids are that. You get what I'm saying? I just finished watching. That's why I was late. Just got through watching some kids that's that, and so I like him. I like RJ a whole lot.
Hey man, listen. Hey, look, and one thing about RJ, you gotta watch the film. RJ hit you, you hit. Period.
Oh, okay. I gotta watch the film on him then.
Yeah. RJ line you up, you done, bro. And I talked to some folks. I talked to just to keep it a buck with you. I talked to Woodson in Arkansas, Marcus Woodson. And I talked to T. Will, and they was just basically like, man, RJ could play. Like, don't think like it ain't. He left. We weren't happy about him leaving. The boy could play. So I'm talking to guys, you know, he ain't no slouch, man. So I'm telling you, like, I just wanted to make sure I gave him, not just because he's from the career. I'm telling you the truth, man. The boy can play.
Same thing with the hood. Like, Auburn is upset. They not happy that kid left. They say that kid had the best spring of any DB.
Hey, they say, I heard that. They say he had a potential star.
Yeah, you know, so it's not like Coach Prime again. It ain't like he went out and got some kids that people not upset about. People are upset about, you know, the caliber of kids that he went out and got to come to his program. So that's the one thing that makes you feel good, and that's what you got to do to build a solid program. Your starters can be good, but you got to have quality backups. And right now, that's what I think he's lining up, to have great starters and great quality backups.
I can say this: it ain't gonna be no drop off like it was last year when players got hurt, and that's the main thing about this whole situation. There ain't gonna be no big drop off. You're gonna see the same level of production or even higher that we got coming off the bench.
Okay. Hey, just a question to each one of y'all. What player on CU that we don't talk about that you think gonna make a big impact this year on their football team? Not the Travis Hunter, not the Shilohs, and just name one player that you think that we don't talk about or the media don't talk about that somebody missing on, they're gonna have an impact on Colorado this year.
Well, Coach Ray had already took because I was going
always
RJ.
says,
Go ahead, Coach Ray.
No, it ain't RJ for me. It's Phillip Craig. I mean, no one gives that kid the love that he deserves and the respect that he reserves. This kid has been a starter everywhere he's been. He ain't been handed nothing. He was not the starter last year. He waited his turn. He worked hard. He didn't pout. He didn't complain. And when his time came up, he didn't give the spot back. And he hasn't given it back since. So to me, Phillip Craig is the guy that I think a lot of people don't talk about, that I think gonna shock a lot of people this year in the Big 12.
Okay.
I actually don't have a player. I actually have a unit, the linebacker unit. They don't get a lot of credit. They don't get a lot of talk about. And I'm just, what you see up front and on the back end is really truly gonna help this linebacking group. And I don't want to just single out one person out this linebacker group. I just think as a whole, this linebacker group, they're not being talked about, and they're gonna do something that a lot of people don't see coming. And that's what you got to take into account of, man, what you add with and a coaching staff experience to help out this D-line, the veteran leadership that you went and got to help the D-line is really going to play a part to, you know, this linebacking crew. And I think this linebacking crew is going to step up and play to a different level this year.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think Nakai Green Hill gonna be one of the ones for real. I think y'all gonna really like what y'all see out of that transfer linebacker from Charlotte. Really good ball player. And I think Michael Welch. I think he's kind of the running back. He's been a forgotten man. I don't think a lot of people have been excited about him. You look at what Colorado was able to add in the portal, but I think man, Michael Welch is somebody who has all the intangibles that you want in a running back. the want to. He's a 3-down back. He catches the ball well. A bowling ball type running back. You got to game tackle him. And I just think that a lot of people aren't talking about him. But even with the addition of Hayden and some of the other guys, I just think Michael Welch, this is his time to shine. And I think especially when you get in some of those third down situations, third quarter, fourth quarter, October, where it gets where people are starting to wear down and you're playing and you get to the meat of the season. He's the type of running back that you can lean on later in the season when you need those tough first downs. When we talked about the offensive line creating those holes, because now you can start to lean on people. But when the offensive line starts to lean, you got to have somebody start hitting them holes, and I think he's that type of guy. Oh, and also wanted to shout out First Lady Shells on Twitter that just made it definitely shouted us out on the show, so we want to shout her back out too.
Okay, appreciate it. While you talking about that running back, I heard Pastor Smith say the other coach, the other hood guy, is the best running back. He ain't said the best running back on the team, nor the conference. Pastor Smith said he's the best running back in the country.
Hey man, I love
Brandon Hood.
I love B Hood. Now I love him, man. I tell you what, you ain't gonna find nobody to work harder than him, and he got a chip on the shoulder. The injury was so unfortunate, when it happened. I mean, if he could have went anywhere in the country. Like he was having that type of high school career. A lot of people thought that he was gonna come out and be rated higher than Colson. He had the injury, very unfortunate. Didn't really get to play his senior year because of the injury. But now, I think Colorado just got a steal. And you got to think about now what happened in the portal. Once Colton got in, they were like, "Oh, we can get both of them." Colorado was like, "Oh yeah," they were already tracking. But I think that when everybody else found out, they got a rush and they turned down a lot of visits, especially
Wow.
B-Hood. Yeah, so I think now y'all got one, man. Runs hard. And I think one thing that we lose in our era is the ability to run behind your pass. And he got that in spades. Like we forget about running behind your pass because we talk about all the pretty drills you do on Instagram, and we looking at the footwork and we looking at everything. When it comes down to it, if you can't run behind your pass, you can't get no leverage. You can't get no leverage. You can't get tough yards. And that's the first thing I was taught playing ball. You got to run what? Behind your pass. So
True.
yeah, so like I think when you talk about the fundamental level of what he does well, and then when he's on, you're not catching, bro. He's getting out of there. Period. Like I'm telling you, bro. Hey, no, man, I ain't gonna say too much. I'm telling you,
damn, big dog. You told me I'm your boy. You know I fuck with you, big.
Hey,
Tell me.
Hey man, listen,
Pastor Smith said that.
y'all got some real pieces.
He said, them boys, them hood boys, they come to play now. I'm telling you, but dog, you said they come to play now.
I'm telling you, like, so you really named a good one, man. B Hood, man. Shout out to him, man. I just think the work ethic, him not getting down on himself last year. When you got to think, this is what I like about him mentally. He had LSU, he had all these schools on him, and then they leave him. Zero, like nothing. He's not hearing from these schools no more after the injury. For him to still take his recovery the way he did, and rebound, and we're gonna talk about it. But like, as far as like for him to keep that mental fortitude to be tough and get through it, and he still went out and ran track in the spring.
I heard that.
Yeah, he still went and ran track and was getting off. So now he's a Colorado. When I talked to Coach Flea, he said and this year is not just. Matter of fact, I talked to Coach Prime. Coach Prime was like, man, we used to chase after all of these just 5 and 4-star guys, and we ain't chasing them. Said, now we gonna get Colorado guys. We want guys that want to be here and that subscribe to the program. Right. And what we got going on. And I think you're gonna get more of that. And the more and more of those type of guys you get, the better and better Colorado is gonna be for the long run.
Man, you look at Brandon Hood, he's gonna be one of those kids that he's gonna fly under the radar right now. But when you get to fall camp and you start seeing him in practice and him flashing off the screens with them pads on, you're gonna think twice, like, where the hell did he come from? That's one of them kids that he's just gonna work, he's gonna move in silence, he ain't gonna say too much, he ain't gonna be in the videos, you're not gonna really see him.
Yeah.
And then he's just gonna flash off the screen when they put them pads on, them helmets and pads come on, he's gonna be one of them kids that just pop out of fall practice. And when they start talking about Name a kid that just came with a lunch pill and just showed out at practice. He gonna be one of them names that you're gonna be calling on the frequent. Him and Michael Welch, 2 freshmen, they start and they on a mission. Don't be surprised if the 2 Georgia boys lead them in rushing.
Yeah, I said that Saturday night. That's what I said. Coach Ray, you got anything to add on that?
And they hit it on the head. When you got an athlete like that, I tell people all the time, you can tell what kind of ball player you is when you down, when you hurt, when everybody leave you for dead. You still, like I told you, only when it's dark can you see the stars. Only when it's dark can you see the stars. You understand me? And when it's dark outside, that's when real stars come out. And this kid has showed more than once that he's a real star. And then when you got the support of your brother there and your cousin, that's the thing I think that's gonna help Colorado a lot. When you look at the brother, like when you look at that brotherly support that they got, you got real brothers in here, you got cousins in here, and so it's gonna be hard to divide a team when you got that kind of connection going on. And so you got to be happy with what and no one can take. You got to take your hats off to Pastor E. Dewey Smith. You just got to. He believes in them guys. He believes in them guys he done seen. And when people believe in you like that, that also makes you go a little harder. That also pushes you past where you would, when you want to quit. You think about that. I think I tell people that all the time about Shedeur. Why y'all think he goes so hard? When he want to be tired, when I want to lay in my bed, when I don't want to get up. Because I know I hear what people saying about my daddy. I hear what people saying about my brother. I hear what people saying about my team. I got to go a little bit harder, and that's the same way with these brothers on this team. So you got to be ready to go to work. And like I say, I don't think nobody in that running back room gonna get handed that job. Somebody gonna have to take it.
Oh yeah, I said the same thing. You said something wrong. Okay. Hey, also in the video, I'm gonna leave it at this off the video. On the end rushes, man, BJ Green, boy, he coming off that line so fast, man. This dude like he got a point to prove to somebody, boy. He got a chip on his shoulder, and the other guy, Dayon Hayes from Pitt. Shit, man. What y'all think about them two? Coach Dre.
Well,
I told y'all, BJ Green showed you in that introductory meeting he ain't here to talk. Real OGs move in silence. You ain't got to be the loudest person in the room to know that you run the room. You ain't got to have no title to really be the person in charge. You understand me? And BJ Green, he done heard all the talk. Oh, you ain't coming. Oh, you just as good as the defensive line they had last year. You ain't really an upgrade. Like I say, the man he just putting it in his lunchbox and bringing it to work with him every day. You can tell he got an attitude about him. In the play defensive line, you got to be different. You got to have that kind of. You got to be on the edge. Most of them, you got to be on the edge of crazy. You see how Warren Sapp talk? He on the edge. You get what I'm saying? It can be this day. It can be this way one day, this way the next. But BJ Green on the mission. That kid from Pitt impressed me. The kid from Pitt impressed me. So them guys that's in that, that's another one. And then when you got a coach like Dancy who also got and I think people don't. This is the biggest thing. Their coach got a chip on his shoulder. Their coach got a chip on his shoulder. Because people saying you come from HBCU, you ain't got no business at the Power 5 level. You can't coach here. Okay, and I'm pretty sure they just don't show y'all that, but I guarantee you that's what he's telling them guys in the room. It ain't just about y'all, it's about me too, because people counted me out as well. So I think you just see them, you see an outlet of their coach in them, and BJ Green is the leader right now.
When you look at BJ Green, I can tell you right now, BJ Green probably playing a couple of videos every single day. Every single day that he don't hustle on the field, that he don't do enough, he lazy, he this, he that. I promise. He gotta be watching it every day. Cause his attitude just reflects every single day. I'm here to prove what y'all say I can't do. I'm here to prove everything that y'all say I can't do. So give your hats off to the, whoever lit a fire on the BJ Green. He definitely on the mission. What I'll say with Coach Dancy getting another coach from the NFL, like we talked about earlier, Coach Thomas, to help him too, that's just another win for them edge rushers. Because now you got two people that can light up that room and talk to you at a different level. We always say we want to go to the NFL. Now you finna start getting treated like NFL players who want to work and who want to go get it. And that's the thing about, right? Alden Walker still ain't fully back healthy yet.
Right.
That's another edge rusher that we got to throw in that mix. So there's gonna be some competition on that edge, to see who gets it. But I like our edge room because they went and got some go getters.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think when you look at what you got out of Pittsburgh and Deion Hayes, bro, he had right at 11 tackles for loss. And when I was talking to other schools that were talking, I think he had 4.5 sacks last year. When I was talking to other schools about what they saw in him, they were just like, bro, he always run the football. He always in the backfield. If it was like basically he wouldn't have been nobody would have. He would have priced himself out. He was about 4 plays away of potential sacks that were to price himself out of everybody's stratosphere this year coming out of Pittsburgh because he was this close. If he could close that gap on some of those plays that he missed, if you talk to him, he'll tell you that he should have had 10 sacks last year. He'll tell you that.
Right.
So when you bring in guys like that playing against top competition, then BJ Green, another kid from Atlanta, McEachin, I think he went to McEachin, I believe. He went he came from Arizona State, right? Yeah, like soon he I don't know if y'all remember, but as soon as he got to Arizona State, he was wrecking shop. Like, he wasn't no problem. He got there. I think he led them in sacks on the D line this first year. If he wasn't 1, he was 2. He was somewhere in there. I just keep saying the same thing. Every time y'all ask me about somebody, I say the same thing. Like, man, like it's shaping up like one of those storms. But I'm glad that the national media isn't giving the credit on that end because it's gonna make it that much sweeter for the success that's on the horizon. So I just think, as far as for you guys taking your platform and doing what you're supposed to do with it and informing the Colorado fans in a really informative and you got it's well thought out. You guys ain't just saying stuff. Every last one, like everybody I talk to on the show know exactly what the hell they talking about in spades. It ain't so when we talk about guys like Deion Hayes and we talk about a BJ Green, like, bro, like that D line shaping up. Your front 7 look good. The back end looked good. The wide receiver room was actually straight last year on the low. The offensive line got better. The running back room looks better. So what? I mean,
yeah,
smartest man in the world, but it seems like if you improve in every room, then you're gonna improve the total product. But hey, don't call me no rocket science.
One of the points I think a lot of people miss is when you go up and down this roster for Colorado, there's a lot of kids from Georgia and Florida that played with each other or played against each other growing up as a little kid.
Right.
And so when everybody said all the chemistry and we brought in all these players, well, the players they brought in, they all knew each other. So they all fighting with each other because they know what that person can bring to the table. So it ain't going to be no animosity between each other because they know what this person brings to the table and how they can help them grow and how they all on the same mission.
Right.
And so we sit back and we look at it. That's a lot of Georgia and Florida boys on this roster. And then influx the Texas kids in there, right? Majority of these kids are all from the same region. So it ain't really these kids that that you've been playing with, probably 7-on-7 or playing, little league and grew up or moved. So the relationships are there. And those are the parts that people are not giving Colorado for because they came from all different places. But at the end of the day, a lot of these kids been knowing each other for years. And now it's just they get to play with each other and they fighting for more because they remember them days growing up, what it used to be.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I agree with you on that, bro. Yeah. Look like I wonder who's gonna end up with the most players on the team, Georgia and Florida. Look like Georgia coming on strong, boy.
Hey, listen, this offseason, Georgia went.
Yeah, look like Georgia trying to do something special, man.
It went
They
through the roof.
they trying to do something. Okay. All right. Okay, dude. Ain't no problem, dude. Let me get it before you go, dude. Let me get this in right quick. Hey, when we look at that, hang on. Let's look at the Colorado and UCF game. All right, I'm gonna talk about 5 games. What y'all gonna be looking for in that game right there?
Me personally, I'm gonna be looking on the linebackers versus UCF's running backs and their quarterback. I think it's really important. That second level is gonna be important in that game. And with UCF running that power read, now you got KJ Jefferson at quarterback. You saw what he did against Alabama last year. He was basically dragging defenders around. So that linebacker core, then you bring back. They got 2 of the top running backs. They got Penny Boone from Louisville, who nobody was expecting them to get, and then is it RJ? They running back from last year. I think he was one of the leaders in the Big 12.
AJ Hardy.
Maybe is it Hampton?
Will
Hardy. Maybe it's Hardy. Okay, Hardy. All right. So last year, UCF's leading rusher last year, he's back, and they added Boone. So looking at what Colorado's second level is able to do against that running back, that backfield, including the quarterback on the run, is going to be important. And I also think UCF's receivers versus Colorado's running backs. You got Kobe Hudson, who could have went to the league this year, who's had productive seasons ever since he got to college. He led Auburn in receiving before he transferred to UCF. Then you got a guy like Ajayi Hall, who's a 5-star, came from Alabama. He's at UCF as a walk-on. And he's probably, when he came out of school, he was one of the more freakish wide receivers in the country. Had some problems off the field. A guy by the name of Jared McIntyre had a good relationship with him and found out how to get him there. But he went to Alabama, went to Texas. Everywhere he went, nobody ever talked about his play on the field. It was always off the field. So when you got a talented room like that, I think those are 2 NFL versus NFL matchups that I'll be looking for.
When I look at that game, it's for me, I'm looking at the Colorado defense. The reason why is the smoke screens and mirrors that they present, the motion that they present. Do we get caught up in the backfield overlooking instead of planting technique and fundamentals? So for me, that UCF game comes down to the defense of what I'm looking for as far as Colorado defense versus UCF's offense. That's my matchup that I'm really looking towards when we look at that matchup.
Yeah, you're right. That boy named RJ Hardy.
RJ Hardy, yeah.
Hardy. Okay. Okay. All right. One more question on the Colorado schedule. I know Duke's got to go. He told me he couldn't be alone. But check this out. The Utah and Colorado game. What y'all gonna be looking for? Cam Rising coming back. Is he healthy? This gonna be his 7th year. They got a good offensive line, got a good running game. What y'all gonna be looking for in that game?
I mean, when you get down to that game, you gonna pretty much know what they are, right? They in the middle of the season. So it's basically it's one of them, it can go 50-50 coin flip, offense and the defense. The difference is I don't want people to take what they seen last year with Utah, playing with 3 or 4 string players, and we playing with our 2nd string quarterback in certain positions. We could actually go beat Utah, but we gonna know what Utah is within the first 4 games and where they really stand at. So the match that I'm looking for is our wide receivers taking advantage of their DBs. That's the matchup that I look forward to in that matchup. Trenches, I feel like it's gonna play about equal. We gotta win the outside at the receiver position. Will be the matchup I'm looking for in that Utah game.
I think Utah's gonna be running a lot of double tight end personnel this year. So I think that the tight end matchup versus Colorado safeties is gonna be important. They got a kid by the name of Landon King. Goes about 6'5.5". He really he played wide receiver at Auburn. He's tight end. He's from Texas. I forgot what school he went to. But no, he's a heck of a player. I watched him a little bit in the spring. They were throwing the ball to the tight end left and right. So I just think not just that guy. They got 2 tight ends. The leading tight end receiver is back this year too. And now they just elevated Landon King. So they're going to run a lot of that. 22 personnel? 21 personnel.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, they're going to be running a lot of 21. So I just think that Shiloh, it's going to really test the safety. So if it's RJ and Shiloh, we're going to have to see some of their athleticism because they got some really big, long tight ends that you're going to have to guard. So but yeah, I think they'll be fine. That's probably one of the better games on y'all schedule this year.
Okay.
I mean, the way the schedule sets up is actually layered out in sections for Colorado, right? You got all your rivalry games up your first, then you got your new wave of welcome back to the Big 12 rivalry games. Then you got your in between the coin flip games. Then you got a little bit of an easy schedule, and then you finish off with the possible contenders for the Big 12 championship. So the schedule is layered out for Colorado. It just staying healthy is going to be the major key.
How much more time you got, Duke?
Man, I got time for another.
All right. I want to pivot from Colorado. Let's look at some of the schedules that I think they're going to shape the college football playoff. This game I'm looking at really that's going to be interesting to me. Florida State at Miami.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game to me. What y'all think about that?
Go ahead, Rob. Let's see what you think.
All I'm going to say, if Miami don't win 10 games, their head coach is fired. That's the easiest way to put it. If Miami don't win 10 games or more, their head coach is fired. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Hey, man, Miami, like, on paper, Miami got a stick, bro. Like, you know,
well, everybody keep telling me. That's why I brought this question up.
Yeah, you know how they say it in the country, and the boy got a whip stick. Hey, man, yeah, they say them boy. Listen, they went and got the quarterback. They went and got the running backs. They went and got another receiver. They went and got the safety. They went and got the lineman. They went and got the linebacker. They went and got somebody else, and their roster was already decent. And they really tried to top grade. They really did some top grading. They let some guys go and brought in guys that they thought were better. And same thing like we said with Colorado, like, you know, they started to top grade the roster. Miami should have spanked them because, like, you know, I think DJU was cool at Florida State, but I mean, Cam Ward should be dynamic in their offense. When you look at the tailback room, what they're bringing back, you look at the wide receiver room, Xavier Restrepo. I wouldn't go see him against Louisville. He's the real deal.
I'll say this: Miami was solid last year. They just didn't have a quarterback play.
They just didn't have a quarterback.
Miami was solid last year. They just didn't have a quarterback play. So now when you put in Cam and you upgrade your running back.
Bro,
yeah. Everywhere.
Miami's really been recruiting well the last couple of years. So, like, they've been top 6, top 7 every year. So a lot of those guys that's there, like, you know, we haven't even seen yet. I got a particular interest because there's some kids from the crib down there. So I'm watching Miami. I went to 3 Miami games last year. I'm probably gonna go about 2 or 3 this year just to watch some of them kids. But hey, man, yeah. So my pick is Miami. If they lose that game, Mario might be on that show with us, bro.
Well, y'all put them on the hot seat already.
Hey, listen, if Miami lose that first game to Florida.
Oh yeah, man, you can't do that. They ain't gonna beat the brakes out of them.
Yeah, they need to. But Billy Napier coaching for his life already. We putting Cristobal on a hot seat. They putting Napier on a hot seat.
I hope Napier even make it to the first game.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, you right. Check this out. Hey, check this out. All right. Before you go, Scoop, check this out.
All right.
The Michigan and Ohio State game. They brought in Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator. Bruh, Ohio State don't win this game. Man, that's the coach gonna be on the hot seat, bro.
Yeah, if he lose that game, bro, he might as well pack his bag right there. I don't care if they undefeated. They went and spent all of this money to go get everything that he needed. Everything. They spent, I mean, their roster was already here. Then you go get the best probably defensive player in college football at the end last year was Caleb Downs. It ain't a lot better than him. And you look at his bloodline, you see what his older brother did last year as a rookie with the Colts. Josh Downs went crazy. If you play fantasy football, that's somebody you want on your team. But adding like a guy like Caleb Downs to an already solid roster, you go get the number 1 quarterback in the country, Julian Sand, add him. You already had the number 4 quarterback in the country, Aaron Nolan. Like they just added player after player after player. When it's almost too much. Like, bro, if you can't win with this, bro, you like what you need? You probably need 85 backs. Like, bro, no, you just not the guy for that job. He lose that game, he might as well not even go back to Ohio. He might as well just leave from Michigan. Wherever the game at, he need to leave from there.
Turn your keys in, turn everything in, turn it in. Listen, it's just that simple. Listen, every expectation for Ryan Day is being taken off of him, right? He's like, I ain't calling plays. I'm gonna give me a play caller. I made a head coach step down to take an offensive coordinator job.
Yeah.
What are they doing that?
That's why I said, man. They set him up. He gonna be the next head coach. He lose that game. You watch and see, man. Scoop, check this out before you go. We can do rapid fire right here, quick, man.
All right.
The best Florida State player, Davin Cook or Warren Darn?
Warren.
Rod?
I'm going Warren Darn.
Ooh, that was a good one. Okay. All right. Quarterback, Florida State, Charlie Ward or Jamie Winston?
Charlie Ward.
Man, I'm going Charlie Ward, man. I didn't even think about the famous James, man.
I like James too, but man, Charlie Ward was something different, man.
All right, check this out. Florida Gator running back, Fred Taylor or Emmitt Smith?
Freddie T.
Fred. Like, it's hard for us to disagree right now. Like,
hey, I said, man, y'all got league out there, man. I thought, oh man. Okay. Georgia running backs, Terrell Davis, Garrison Hurst.
At Georgia?
Yeah.
Garrison
That's
Hurst.
in college, not NFL, not the college.
Yeah, Garrison Hurst. He finished third in the Heisman in '93, bro. I don't forget nothing.
That's easy, man. That's Garrison, man. All right. I can't even argue that with dog.
All right. I think I'll ask him before, but I don't think I asked you this, Duke Scoop.
All right.
Percy Harvin in Florida or Peter Ward, Florida State?
He does.
Had a better college career?
I'll say this. P. Dub, man. Yeah, P. Dub was supposed to win the Heisman, dog. Like, bro, P. Dub was out there, man. Who's P. Dub quarterback? You tell me.
I don't forget.
Who was Percy Harvin quarterback?
You know that. That's easy. That's too easy.
Well, I forgot.
Okay, well, good.
Tebow.
It was Tebow. Yeah, Tebow.
I know Winky was, I believe.
I just said Winky. Yeah.
Winky was beat up, but listen, so think about that. This man had Tebow. So basically all they was doing in Florida State, they knew he was gonna get the ball. Now he did have Coles to stretch out the other side of the field, trust me. And when I think about open field moves, I say that Percy Harvin was one of the closest things that we ever saw to Lavernius Coles and P. Dub mixed together. But you just talk about revolutionizing the wide receiver position at that time. Like, bro, the man went what he went, like number 7, number 8 to Cincinnati. He didn't have the NFL career that everybody wanted, but he was a Heisman candidate. Sure. He got over, even when they had the Free Shoes University, he still got through that. Like, back then, and then too, when everybody in that, when we needed P Dub to show up, he showed up. So man, I love Percy Harvin's game, especially what he did in the pros. I loved him at Florida, but hey man, P Dub was so cold, bro. I've never seen footwork like that, bro.
Okay, Coach Ray.
I mean, and that's great, and P Dub was the man and everything. But what Percy Harvin did, boy,
yeah.
Boy, you gotta have a little mercy for Percy, because when Percy touched the football, listen. And what I'm saying is that man had a quarterback. P Dub at least had a better quarterback. I mean, and there's no knock on Tebow, so people in Gainesville, please don't kill me, because I know he God around here. But I mean, with the ways that they used him on offense, like you said, I think they did. Florida used him the way that they used Peter Ward at Florida State. But for me, it's Percy Harvin. The kid just was. I never seen anything like him.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Clemson running. Sammy Watkins, Nebraska. Phillips. Lawrence Phillips.
Running back.
Lawrence Phillips. Who had a better career at their school?
Lawrence Phillips over everybody. It don't matter. Wide receiver, running back, don't matter.
Oh, okay. You just
Never seen a better running back than Lawrence Phillips ever. Never seen nobody better than him. More talented, never. Nope. I ain't never seen. Now, what did he? God bless the dead.
Yeah.
But man, listen, that man made Jerome Bettis get out of St. Louis, bro. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah.
They drafted that man number 6 overall. That man, hey, the bus had to roll, boy. He needed a bus pass. Lawrence Phillips just rolled off, man. God bless him, man.
Lawrence Phillips was that dude, but Nebraska, man. He really was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it's a comparison. Sammy ain't even in his category when it comes to college football. Nowhere near it. And I like Sammy, but he no Phillips.
Hey, on the defensive side, Derrick Brooks, Florida State, or Brandon Spikes of University of Florida?
Brooks.
Okay, well, y'all went through that one. Running back, Eddie George, Ohio State, Ezekiel Elliott, Ohio State. Who had a better career in college?
Ooh.
That's tough, but I'm gonna go Eddie George. And that's my boy. That's my boy from St. Louis, man. That's my boy. But I'm going Eddie George on this one. That's my boy from St. Louis, man.
Over Ezekiel.
I'm gonna have to go with Zeke.
Boy.
What Zeke did in college, leading Ohio State to a national championship, and what he did in that national championship game, that to me that just pushed him over the top. I gotta go with Zeke.
Okay, yeah, I go with Zeke too. But check out this. I'm gonna move from that. I know Duke got to go. Arizona against Kansas State. You got the quarterback, the leader, wide receiver, McMillan. Kansas State got Avery Johnson, and they running back, DJ Gibson. Who y'all think gonna come out in that game, and what kind of matchup y'all gonna be looking at?
I mean, when you look at Kansas State, that game's gonna be about physicality. It's just straight to it, right? Can you be physical in the trenches? Because one thing Kansas State gonna try to run that ball. I don't care how you want to look at it, slice and dice it. They want to run that ball, play action, and if they have a mobile quarterback, they're gonna use their quarterback, in power, counter, and all different types. They're gonna go to a personnel. They're gonna bring the tight end out there. So you're gonna see them run the ball. It's gonna come down to being physicality. You're not gonna see them throwing the ball a lot here and there. But if you can stop the run and force them to pass, you're in good shape to beat Kansas State. That's just bottom line to it.
He hit it on the head. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's just going to be a physical game. They want to run the ball. They got a speedster now, so they're going to try to get Dylan the ball in space. Arizona State got McCaskill. So, but they already had a good running back or two. So it's just about seeing who can run. I think it's going to be who can run the ball the best.
We don't play Arizona State.
Stop the run. Huh?
We don't play Arizona State. We play Arizona.
No, I know he was talking about Kansas playing Arizona State. Oh, you talking about us playing them?
No, I said Arizona versus Kansas State.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, so that's what it boils down to. Who's gonna be the most physical football team, and that's what it all boils down to.
All right, dude, who's gonna win that? Auburn and Alabama, man.
Man, it's too early to tell, man. I'm gonna go Auburn for the day just because they should have beat them last year, 4-31. They should have beat them last year. I mean, it wasn't that 4-31 was so crazy, but heads rolled after that. So he did. Shout out to Ryan Roberts. He's at the University of Florida now. So that was after year one. So yeah. He can't give up no 4-31, man. But yeah, man, give me Auburn right now just because I like what Auburn put together, and I just think they didn't have the ability to throw the ball last year, and they still won 6 games. This year, man, they got what they brought in. They brought probably the two best wide receivers in the country together, the best duo, Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson. I don't know if y'all saw Cam Coleman in the spring, AJ Green Jr. bro, freaking nature on the other side. And they brought in a wide receiver. He was a 5-star committed to Alabama named Perry Thompson. He's from the same high school as Julio Jones, and he built like a linebacker, 6'3". Same thing. He just got to school. He came in the summer, and they was like, bro, it's the same thing we said. I'm talking to kids on the team. They're saying it's the same thing. It was like, bro, he just like Cam. So I just think that I don't think that Alabama's going to be right now. I don't think Alabama's going to have the horses that they had last year in the talent gap. So we'll see. But right now, give me Auburn.
Yeah, it's too early to tell because the most interesting thing is what do they do with this Alabama offense? Do they play to the strength of their quarterback, or is it going to be more of, the old traditional, Alabama? We're trying to run the ball, play action. You play to the strength of your quarterback, it's going to be more spread, more RPO, get them out in open fields, sprint them out to make easy throws, to make the game easy, cut the field in half. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Bulls does with, the quarterback there. But right now, I mean, you got to take Auburn in this situation because you know the most about Auburn than you do Alabama in this situation right now.
I mean, everybody hit it on the head. You got to take Auburn right now because they bring back the most experience. You don't know what the Bulls is doing, and you following St. Nick, and is them boys gonna respond to you? You don't know, we don't know what's going on at Alabama right now, and the question is, how short of a leash does Milroe have before they trying to put somebody else in? Like, that's the real question, because I know you get what I'm saying. So the real question is, how long is that leash that he got out there before they trying to put somebody else in? Because a quarterback did follow him to the University of Alabama. So that's my biggest question. But we're going to find out within the first 5 weeks what Alabama and Auburn made of, because it's the SEC. And so we'll find out in the first 5 weeks what both teams look like.
All right, Deuce, I'm going to let you go on this one. This is the last one I got for you. All right? Where you got to go? It's 9 o'clock. Me and Rodman and Dre going to stay hanging here for another 30 minutes. Check this out. The first game Colorado will play, North Dakota State. What you think? What you going to be looking for during the game, and what you think the outcome will be?
I'm going to be looking for how disciplined Colorado is. North Dakota State, talent-wise, they're not going to have the same type of roster, but they play good football. They play good football every year. They play a very disciplined scheme. I know guys that went up there and cut their chops up there in North Dakota State. So that's a place where a lot of people go to get experience, to go to other programs. So they play a really disciplined brand of football, and we're going to see if Colorado can be disciplined enough to come ready to play, even though this ain't the Power Four or the typical opponent they're used to playing. They're gonna give you everything that you want. You're gonna get their best shot, and they want to upset Colorado. They think they can beat Colorado. I'm just telling you that now. They're not going in this thinking like, oh, we're gonna play Colorado. Like, usually when you see teams come up and they play these Division I, these Power Four teams, they're already defeated when they get there. They coming to beat them, and it ain't, it's going to be on Colorado to be ready for that game, to be disciplined for that game, and to take the same attitude they took into the season last year when they beat TCU when nobody was expecting it. So they got to treat North Dakota State the same way they treated TCU in order to win, and that's what I'll be looking for.
Okay.
I'll say this.
I'm for the slide, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right. This ain't no pay me game. One of the things I like about this game the most is the motion that North Dakota State is going to use in their offense is going to help them for game 4 and 5, right? When they play against Baylor and they play against UCF. UCF is going to use a lot of motion. So this first game that they playing against North Dakota State is going to help them a long ways because you're going to see motion pretty much every single play. You're going to see different formations. You're going to see, different personnel on the field at one time. You might see 2 tight ends. You might see 3 tight ends. You might see 1 tight end. You might see 4. You might see a spread. You never know what North Dakota State is going to hit you with. So you're going to need versatility out on the field. And the more players you can have on that defense, they can do multiple things and they can stay on the field. less substitution is going to play in the benefit of Colorado. So those are the things that I look at is how many more versatile players that we get from last year to this year where we can stay on the field and we don't get burned because of personnel substitutions.
Again, I've been telling you that, B. It's just we got to be 1-0. We got to be 1-0 week one. We can't overlook them. They coming in here. They're a football team. They're a prideful program. They got national championships under their belt. They don't care what level it is, and they've been playing in a playoff style system. It ain't no we gonna pick the best 4 teams or this, that, and the other. We had to beat everybody to get to where we was going. They've been in the playoff type system, so they feel like they can come in here and play. What I'm looking for is what you want: complete domination. I want to see the O-line go out here and dominate. I want to see Shedeur assert his presence. I want to see these receivers do what they want to do. I'm looking for the linebacker play because they're gonna try to run the ball down here. They gonna try to come run the ball right at you. That's gonna let us know if we can tackle. We're gonna find out if we can tackle week one. I know that. We're gonna find out if we can tackle. So that's what I want to see. I want to see the dominance. I want to see us exert our power. Third quarter, I want to see about the middle of the third quarter, I want to see Shedeur them taking their pads off and going and sitting down.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Coach Dre. Game 1, coin flip. We win the coin toss. What you doing?
Give me the football so I can go score.
All right. I just want to see if you're going to put that defense out there first or you're going to put that offense.
Oh, I got to put that defense out there first, man. I got to see what I got. Yeah, like you said, I want to know, can they tackle? I want to see my linebacker group.
I want to see them, but against them, any other time, Nebraska, anybody else, I'm probably put my defense out there. This first game on national TV and everybody got every eyeball on the set. I want to put Shedeur Sanders out there with Will Shepherd and all them receivers and these running backs and go right down the field and let them know this is what we're gonna do all day long on offense. Go up and down the football field.
Now this is the question for the chat, right? We get the coin toss, y'all get the pick. We go offense or defense first. Let us know. Question of the night. I want to know. I want to see what everybody gonna say on this one. I want to see.
What you think, Rod? What you think? What would you do, Rod?
Me personally, to set the tone at Folsom Field, I'm probably gonna put the offense out there just game 1, right? Because I want us to go put a touchdown on the board so the crowd is astronomically loud when they get the ball that first time. I want this one to be through the roof. So I'm probably gonna put in normal situations, we win the toss, I'm going defense. I'll put my defense out there on the field first in normal situations. But because of this game, I'm going offense.
Offense. Okay. Ain't that wrong with that? I think I have to go with my defense. So,
hey,
what kind of role y'all think?
I was gonna say this. Shout out to all the content creators that's out there, that's watching us, that support us, man. We support y'all back. It's much love. It's so many y'all in the chat right now. I don't want to just miss anybody and somebody get upset, but I just want to give a shout out to all the content creators that's out there watching us right now. Don't be scared to pull up on us, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in.
So when you look at the linebacker group, it's gonna be JB second year or third year?
JB third year.
Third year.
This is third.
You think he's gonna be in that rotation?
He started at Jackson State that first year.
Think he gonna make that rotation this year?
It depends. To me, it depends on, is he gonna be a linebacker or is he gonna be at the edge rushing position?
See, we got enough edge rushing.
He's a tweener. That's the problem. He's a tweener. He can do both, right?
Right.
What I want to see from JB is him playing at a faster rate at the linebacker position, right? Diagnosing plays and what he sees he's triggered, he's going hunting. Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't make no false step. I want to see you trigger just on the go. So that's for me for JB. So for me, when I look at the linebackers, he should be in the rotation. He should be,
Mm.
but there's gonna be a couple guys I feel like that's gonna bump ahead him. But 3 years in college, you can go a long way though.
True. Yeah, he got the experience. Yeah, I believe that too. So when you look at when we look at the new players, this new guy, what his name? Takikwa Thomas.
Yeah, you
What?
about said it right. You
Yeah, I get the name.
the
T.
defensive
Thomas.
tackle the defensive
Yeah, the
tackle
defensive
transferred
tackle.
to
When I was looking
Georgia.
at the well-off media and reach the people, this dude looked powerful, bro. He got the strength, and he'll
One
talk.
one thing for sure, up that interior line on the defense has got bigger.
And
When you
huge.
look at him, when you look at Barnes, Carter, like we got some massive guys up that middle now. What we needed some big boys, 330, 350 in that range. And we went out and got it. Actual guys that look like they got the weight on them, right? Not these
Right.
long, stretched out guys that's
Yeah.
6'10" and
Basketball player. Power
we
forward.
got actual guys that look like they frame is right. Like they actually went into the weight room and worked on their body, right? So you gotta be thankful with what you got, man. But we got some guys up that middle where we actually got some beef where now it's about them getting their bodies in condition and playing into that altitude to be the best version of themselves.
I mean that's what it's all about. It's about when you got them guys in them three techniques, the body size, but you also with that body shape, you still got guys with quick hands, quick feet who can get off the ball. So that's why we feel good about what we got.
Okay. All right.
Now
You
here's what
think?
I would say. Here's what I'll say to this. Those big bodies is gonna help us test us in them guard between the tackles, the guards in the center, right? They gonna get some work in practice.
Yeah.
That's one thing we gonna find out is they gonna get some work in practice because them big boys gonna eat up some space. So that's one of the great things that you'll get to see out this defensive line. So that's one of the things you got to keep your. That's one of the things that I'm focused on during fall practice is the rush and what these defensive tackles can do to the guards and how our guards respond to it. The guards and center spot.
Guard. Yeah, you're right. The guards on the offensive line, because that's why I think was the problem with last year. So when we look at Shedeur, the quarterback, what kind of season y'all think he's gonna have this year? You think he can repeat what he did last year? He did a lot. He did a lot last year. Now, don't let them numbers fool y'all. From 35, from 3,000 yards passing, and only 3 interceptions. What you think, Coach J?
I mean, he gonna do what he's been doing. You know, Shedeur Sanders with a better offense. We're gonna see the Jackson State Shedeur Sanders close, 40 to 45 touchdowns because he gonna be standing up right. He's gonna be able to pick apart the defense. So I expect him to be the Shedeur Sanders from Jackson.
I just won't. This all I want from Shedeur. Be locked in and let's go. Everything else don't matter. Once we get to fall practice, listen, them being in these spaces and doing all these interviews, it's about to come to an end.
I wish he would stop doing it, man.
It's almost time to lock in. It's almost time to lock in. I'm just saying, it's almost time to lock in. I'm telling you right now, all these spaces, and for the people that don't know that wasn't around last year and how this thing worked, all these spaces and going on these interviews, this is about to come to an end here soon, and you gonna see it's time to lock in. I know a lot of people feel like they see things, they look like he gonna have fast at practice and things like that. They don't show you everything. All right, you only seeing a sequence of certain things of what they want to show you, but we get into that time where it's almost time to lock in, and they finna go dark on media. when it comes to these players going in these spaces and going on YouTubes.
Yeah, I believe that too. So you think Kalea Benson gonna hold down that tackle position?
For me, I see. Here's my thing. I thought they was gonna end up bumping him inside, but the more and more I look at it, I think Flapjack gonna be the one that's gonna get bumped into the insides, where he's competing now. And it's gonna be hard because he's gonna be competing with Tyler Brown, Justin Mayers, and Tyler Johnson on the inside. Flapjack is. I thought, and what I wanted was Benson kick to the right guard and put Owens on the right tackle. But I think it's gonna be the other way around when it's all said and done, and Rock on the left guard spot. If they don't put him at center, because I think they're gonna try to swing him in some type of way to get him some center, actually to get him some experience, just in case if the NFL wants to bump him into a center role, because of his size and stuff. So we're gonna see. It's still a lot of time for them to figure that out, but when you look at it, that's how I look at the offensive line right now.
Yeah, I think Flapjack gonna be in there somewhere. I don't know where, but if he keep going at the rate he going, they got to incorporate him in that line somewhere. Oh, Trey?
Yeah, you got to, but what we got to do is we got to see what it looks like with the pads on. You know, right now we in
Right.
just shorts and shirts, and you know it look good. Don't get me wrong. I'm taking nothing away from the way Flapjack look, but I need to see that with pads on. I need to see that at a consistent base, and then we'll go from there. But right now, I'm going with what I'm. For right now, I know what we're gonna roll out there for the first spring practice. It's the same 5 guys that we had. You're gonna have to take somebody's spot, which I feel like Flapjack gonna be in the running for that guard spot or the tackle spot. But I heard Duke say he like 8. I like, as long as I got 13, I'm good. So we feel good. I feel good about the offensive line, and we getting pushed every day. Again, nobody's comfortable up there. Nobody's comfortable up there. Everybody knows that their job can be taken. You know, you talk to Coach Field will tell you he probably ain't got no starters right now. I'm starting with a blank sheet. I'm gonna put these 5 names out here because these were the 5 names that was there. But hey, you wanna earn your spot? You have the opportunity to come earn your spot. I think everybody gonna get ample opportunity for that. And then you gotta also remember that you got Tyler Johnson that's there. That the guy only gave up 1 sack, so he believes he's
Right.
that guy. I think he's more healthy than he was in the spring. I think he got hurt, and I think he's getting a little more healthier. So we'll see. But it's a great problem to have, guys. It's a great problem to have.
I'm with Coach. I want 11 to 13 offensive linemen, but on game days, I want to narrow it down to about 8 or 9 guys, right? That I really trust, and we good. 5 of them guys can go out there, but we got 4 of them, right? And so you're gonna get 2 of them that guard center some type of way, and you got your backup tackles. So I'm good with 8 or 9, but traditionally, 11 or 13 offensive linemen, especially for an entire season, that's huge. If you get 11 to 13 offensive linemen that's with good quality offensive lineman depth, I feel real comfortable.
Man, when I look at Jimmy Horn out there, boy, y'all, he looking good, man. I ain't gonna tell them stuff. He looking good coming out them breaks. He catching everything. Boy, it's gonna be
Here's,
interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting when they go 3 wide to see who gonna play that slot.
here's my thing with Jimmy Horn. Just
He
stay
look,
healthy, man. Like, the biggest thing is Jimmy Horn, like last year, like every time it's an injury to something, whether it's hamstring, the groin, and it's psychologically, mental, something wrong. I just want to see Jimmy Horn healthy, man. But you know how this goes. You can
right.
look great in shorts and shirts until we put them pads on and somebody puts some hands on you. All
yeah,
fun and games.
yeah, you're right.
But
I Jimmy Horn looking to you, Coach Dre. I that Florida boy looking to you.
he'll be back.
I always rock with them Florida boys. You know, he healthy. I can look at if you go look at Jimmy Horn, go look at the spring last year. You see the same kid. You see the same kid. You see the way he cutting. You see the way he exploding when he get the ball. You see all that stuff. How quick he is in and out of route. And so that's how I know he was really laboring with that hamstring last year.
Rob, when you look at this
Because he
Utah
looked like
and
he could
Oklahoma
like
State
Bam
game,
Adebayo. It looked like that guy that we
Go ahead.
Rob, when you look at the Utah and Oklahoma State game, I think they play early, like September. It's September the 20th something. I seen it. What you gonna be looking at that? That's gonna be that's gonna be a doozy there, boy.
What I
And
say
Utah,
is that game is already circled on the calendar. It's a must-watch game because you're gonna get to pick all the pros and cons out of that game and really get to see what they do well and what they don't do. But with them playing earlier, can sway one way or another how this conference ends up coming out to whoever wins that game. So if you're Utah, you want to steal that win if possible.
right?
Oklahoma State, they're gonna be solid. You know, they're gonna win their 19 games. That's what they just
I
gonna be.
always do though.
I don't care how you want to slice the dice or who at quarterback, if he trash, whatever you want to call him, below average, some way, somehow, they win 19 games. It is like with the talent y'all got, I don't even know how y'all did it, but y'all did it. But that
They did
game
with
is
that running back.
yeah. That game is really going to decipher a lot in the Big 12 race on, who's making it to that Big 12 championship game. So for me, that game is circled, if you're Colorado, of seeing what's out there and go from there. Because, I mean, that could play the biggest key to, the Big 12 championship.
It is. It is. What you think, Coach Dre?
I mean, it's gonna come down to who won it the most. And you want to see, it's going to tell us a lot about our team. It's a good team. It's a good game to watch, to break down, to see the pros and cons from each team. Because, again, it comes down to us trying to win the Big 12. You want to punch your own ticket. You don't want to have to wait on nobody to vote you in. You want to be able to get yourself in. And so we want to win the Big 12. Just like we got the original Bucks, them original teams from the Big 12, they got a chip on their shoulder. They don't want no team to come in that's not from the Big 12 or not been playing in the Big 12 and take over. So I expect, to see good football out of that game.
Here's what I want to see the most out that game. I don't think Utah can stop Ollie Gordon. I think they can slow him down.
Right.
Do Oklahoma State have enough weapons outside to go win the game? Is my question. Because when you look at both of these teams, they kind of mirror each other in a sense. The difference, I would say, with Utah's defense is they're going to want to be more physical than Oklahoma State's defense. And so that's where you can have a differential. But Oklahoma State has a good running game. So it's kind of like they can balance out and cancel each other in a sense when you look at both of these teams. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup between the two because of the playing styles that both of them want to go with. But I really want to see, when it comes down to it, can Utah get the key stops versus the running game and force Oklahoma State to pass the ball? And can a quarterback make the right decisions?
Right.
Because
That's good.
The biggest thing is we still don't know who Oklahoma State quarterback is going to be this season.
Right.
That's the key. We don't know exactly what they got at quarterback. We know what they got in the running game. We know what they got up front. We just don't know what they got at quarterback. And so those type of things are going to play a part of how much success Oklahoma State can have if they quarterback can get them first downs outside of the running game.
Good. All right. What about Kansas and Kansas State?
Rivalry game, man. All records got to be thrown out the window. It don't matter. It's a rivalry game. It's gonna be a nail biter. It can go any way. When you look at Kansas versus Kansas State, both of them teams can run the ball. Kansas can pass the ball a little bit better than Kansas State. When you look at Daniels, their quarterback, they actually getting their starting quarterback back who got hurt last year.
Right.
So they had one of the top offenses in the Big 12 last year.
They look good.
Before their quarterback got hurt. And so they're a sleeper team that a lot of people don't talk about. They got a top corner in college football on the defensive side in Kansas. But the offensive weapons skill set, on the perimeter for Kansas State, still a question mark for them. They're going to always have a solid defense. Especially up their front seven. Now their back end might be miniature at times, but they find a way to get the job done.
Coach Dre, will Baby T.O. get a chance?
I mean, like you said. Go ahead.
I think he was going to answer that Kansas versus Kansas State.
Okay, all right.
No,
Go ahead.
no.
I thought I had
Go
asked.
ahead.
No, come on.
Go, B. Go.
No, come on, Dre.
Like you said, you just throw them records out the window. You throw them records out the window. It's a rivalry game. It's Kansas State. So you throw the records out the window. I don't know if Kansas State has the receivers to match up with Kansas, but I like Kansas quarterback. And for me, it always comes down to quarterback play. And so I got Kansas in that game because I think their quarterback is better than Kansas State quarterback. So that's what I think it comes down to.
All right, Coach Dre. When I was looking at the well-out video again, I see the size of Baby T.O. Man, this dude, he got a chance to get in that rotation this year?
Oh, no doubt. He got a chance. He got a chance to get in the rotation. Big, tall, strong, physical, can go up and high point the football. And again, he gonna be in that 8-man rotation. I got him in. If you ask me to put a 6-man rotation, he'd probably be in there as well. I just like the way he run. He just got to get a little more polish with his route running, maybe just a bit more polish with his route running. And sometimes that's how it is with those longer receivers. Sometimes their route running doesn't be as crisp as we want it to be. But everything else, he has every other intangible. And so you gotta like what he does. He has the confidence. He believes in himself. And the camaraderie that them boys got as the receiving corps, that's what I like to see. I don't think you see a lot of jealousy going on. I think everybody genuinely want everybody to succeed, and that plays a big role at the receiver spot.
When I look at C5, he definitely has the opportunity to crack the rotation. But it C5 kind of give me a reminder of when's the last time Shedeur had, a 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver.
Well, I was thinking about the same thing, Rod.
I go back to Shane Hollywood Hooks in that situation, right? That's when I'm envisioning what they're going to do with C5. In that sense. As you look at the receivers from this year, and not to compare last year, but we're a lot bigger. We're a lot bigger across the board. You talk about Will Shepherd, that's over 6'2", 6'3". You got C5 that's 6'3", 6'4". You got Timmons, right? I ain't even included Marion Miller in that situation. So when you talk about the outside perimeter and not the slot guy, we are a lot taller, faster, stronger route running abilities. Even Wiseman, that Shedeur had when he was at Jackson State. You gotta think about those type of kids. When Shedeur had those type of weapons, he utilized them. Right. So they definitely gonna be those guys. He definitely gonna be in the rotation because Shedeur finds a way to utilize them.
I hope so. And another thing that stood out to me, man, this dude Caleb Mathis, he don't drop nothing. When they throw that ball to him, man, he's a sleeper to me. He's the sleeper, man. He don't drop nothing. I mean, if you just throw it to it. Now, when I ask y'all the question, what player that people don't talk about. I thought one of y'all was gonna say that, but you didn't. But Caleb Mathis, boy, he growing on me.
Well, the reason why Caleb Mathis is not as lead because we always talk about Caleb Mathis on my channel, right?
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
He's one of he's one of the best route runners on Colorado's football team. One of the top 3 route runners. I don't care what you want to talk about, who you want to talk about, speed. Caleb Mathis is one of the best route runners on the team, hands down. But I was talking about Caleb back at the beginning of last year. He's got that chemistry with Shedeur that a lot of people forget about. Like, they played high school together, right? He's been catching passes. So it's one of those players that I've been talking about since last year, and people are just finally starting to see it coming to fruition this year. But he was always one of them. He was always one of them people, man. If you get him into a one-on-one with them linebackers, hey, come on now, it's guaranteed. Hey, we already know where we going. You know, when you talk about like a Wes Welker type player, that's Caleb Mathis.
Yeah. Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's who he
Possession
is.
receiver.
Yep, just a possession receiver. He gonna
Yeah.
catch the ball. He gonna get you collect your first down. Get back up. He gonna study the playbook. He gonna know where he's supposed to be at. He gonna watch film. He gonna do all the necessary things, right?
Right.
And you know, a lot of people said, "Daddy bought this, Daddy bought that." Well, he should have been playing last year, and he wasn't. And he was one of the best. He was one of the best like route runners last year. So
Okay.
that was one of the things that you look at. But no, Caleb Mathis has definitely been one of those guys that I've been talking about on my channel forever. That a lot of
Okay.
people forgot, like a lot of people don't think about.
Yeah, I've been
Hey,
watching him ever since they don't started this spring practice. Boy, every time they
hey,
throw it, he come down with it, bro.
listen, that's great. Caleb Mathis, we already done talked about him. And I think Rob pointed something out that I want everybody, for all the haters out there that said that, hey, oh, they gave Lil Mathis a scholarship just because his daddy on the team and this, that, and other. Watch the video. Y'all saw it this week. Besides, he's just small. That kid is everything you looking for at the cornerback position. He everything you looking for in the cornerback position. So, these guys ain't just getting handed anything. Them guys don't want nothing handed to them. They want to compete. And that's one thing I like about the Mathis boys. They don't want nothing handed to them. They want to go out there and compete and show that they belong, and not that they're just not there because their daddy the football coach. And you got to give them guys kudos for that. Again, Caleb Mathis is in my 8-man rotation, and I don't think nobody can take him out because he run great routes. He don't drop the football, and he's just all around. He's an all around. When you think about all the characteristics that Coach Prime asks him for in a football player, Caleb Mathis displays all of them.
I mean, you got to put Caleb Mathis in the top 8. Just when you look at the slot, right? You got LeJounte, Jimmy, Caleb. This is hands down who's in the slot, right?
Right.
You could put Travis inside or outside, but when you just look at the pure slot guys, those are your top 3. So he's gonna be in a rotation.
Okay. Hiram Smith. He's the forgotten guy on the defensive side of the ball.
No, he's not. He's not a forgotten guy. He's a guy that they're super familiar with because he played with them at Jackson. You know, he played with Shiloh. He played with Cam, JB. He was on that defense on that last year's team when Coach Prime was at Jackson State. So they're super familiar with him. They understand what he's gonna bring to the table and those things like that. Now Colorado went and brought in more talent at the safety position.
That's what I'm saying.
They went and brought in more talent. Now these kids they brought in, they are taller, they are more rangier, more versatility safeties, right? But all he has to do is just keep working, put his head down, watching film, and keep making hits, and let his pass do the talking.
I mean, that's it. He just got to keep working. Um, you guys just got to keep going. And like you say, that should put fuel in your tank when they keep going and getting other safeties. And that's like I said, I don't think that's a knock saying they don't believe in Herm. I just think them guys want to make sure again to be a national championship team, you have to have quality backup. If somebody come off the field, it can't be a drop off. It can't be like this guy missing. And I think that's what Coach Prime is going to have. Guys, well, if I take this guy out and put this guy in, it's not a drop off. If I take this guy out and I put this guy in, it's not a drop off. And to be a national championship contender, that's what you have to do. To be a great football team, that's what you have to do. It's not about your starters. We know what your starters can do. 9 times out of 10, you know what your starters can do. It's about the other guys, the backups, the guys behind them. Are they ready to play? Are they sitting back there soaking because they think they should be starting and you should be coming off the bench? You got to play your role, and that's another thing I think a lot of people don't see is a lot of these kids are getting accustomed to their role. I don't have to be the man. As long as I do my role and play my role to the best of my ability, help my team win. You'll see the fruits of your labor. Everybody can't be the man. Everybody can't be the man. So I think that's what we got going on. But I think Herm will be okay. I think he'll be in the rotation. I think he'll be in the two to three deep. He gonna compete.
Okay. All right. I hope so, man. So, what's going on in the WNBA with Kayla Clark? Did she get snubbed from the Olympics?
I don't know. You have to ask Rob that. I don't know if she got
You ain't been keeping up with it.
Hey
Rob,
man,
what's going on with the WNBA, Rob? Did she get snubbed?
why did
What do you think on that?
I just want to know, why does she deserve to be on the Olympics team? She didn't get stubbed.
Did it get
Like,
snubbed?
she didn't. First of all, they had. Well, here's the disclaimer, right? When they had the trials, she couldn't go because she's playing the NCAA tournament.
True.
The NCAA, she should have been knocked out, but they weren't gonna let her be knocked out because of the revenue and the money that generated behind it. So that wasn't gonna happen. But when you talk about her first couple of weeks in the WNBA, they looked at it like, nah. You got to look at this roster and be like, who's she playing on? They're gonna put her on the roster to be the 12th man for her not to get in. You might well just leave her off. But you also got to think about who the head coach is. That who plays a part in the 12-man roster for Team USA on the women's side. She ain't in the bond yet with them, with the head coach. I promise you, if her head coach on the Indiana Female was coaching that team, she might have had a chance. But because you have a WNBA coach actually coaching the Olympics team, there was no way that she was gonna be on that team. Not this year.
Yeah, she kind of struggled first part of the season anyway.
Here's what you got to look at, right? When you got a player who hasn't played a game this season on an Olympic team and Kayla Clark ain't on it, they just goes to show you what it is.
You might have a point there, but
I trust me. When you look at this, I know everybody feel like Kayla Clark got snubbed, but at the end of the day, when you assess her this first half of this season, it's not what you thought it was, because it's a different. You're talking about playing against pros, like you're talking about the physicality of the game at a higher level than it is at college. You're not getting all those buyout whistles that you did in college, right? All those ticky-tack calls that you get in college to get yourself to the free throw line and get yourself going, they not give you that. They don't care that you got pushed down. Get up. This is the professional league. And so, is there players being targeted at her? Yes. But in the grand scheme of the way they playing her, it wasn't gonna work. And so when you look down and you brought everything to it, when you look at the players that's on that roster, who is she going to play over? Because I'm telling you, the starting point guard for Team USA ain't played a game this year. And she's still in the Olympics. So, hey.
I just want to hear what y'all had to say on it. That's all.
But
I know it's a big thing on Twitter, so I said, let me add this.
She just had a good game. I just said her last game was a good game. She had 30.
Yeah, she had a good game.
She had a good game.
She had too many of those, though.
She had a good game because they had just came out and said she didn't make the Olympic team. So she came out to show she should have been on the Olympic team. She dropped 30. So hopefully that gets her going.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do y'all think about AJ Wilson for the Vegas?
She's bar none the best player in the WNBA. I mean,
I think so too.
ain't nothing to talk about. Uh, and I believe she deserves everything she's getting. All the endorsement deals and
Yeah.
the money that she's making, she deserves every dime, everything that she's getting. She's earned it. Um, and sometimes you have to be thankful for what you have to get what God has for you. And that's why I have so much respect for her, because I haven't heard her cry. I haven't heard her say, "Oh, well, Angel Reese and Caitlin came in, they got all this money and they got all these endorsement deals." All she did was do what she was supposed to do: go out there and perform at a high level, win WNBA championships, win MVPs, and now her time is now. So I believe she should get everything that any company and all the money that she gets, she deserves it, because she did about it the right way. And any young athlete that's out there, that's the model you need to go behind. A model of, I'm just gonna come out here and do what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm gonna believe in myself. I'm gonna let my talent speak for me. I ain't gonna speak for myself. My talent gonna speak for me, and I'll get everything. And like I said, sometimes you have to be thankful for what you have before you can get what else God has for you. So I think she deserves everything she gets.
I think Asia Wilson don't get talked about enough.
Hey, Jack, that's what I'm thinking, Rod.
She don't get talked about enough because you got Angel Reese and Kaylin Clark as the headliners, when really Asia Wilson should be the face of the WNBA
She
right now.
is. To me,
That's who they should be going through.
they should be popping her up, bro.
But here's that thing, right? It goes back to that stigma, like the NBA. You can't market tall players. So a guard always has to be the one, because you could idol somebody that's a guard to say, "Oh, I could be her." But you can't market a girl to say, "Oh, I could be Asia Wilson," like Kevin Durant. Like those players, they generational players, but you can't emulate them, right? Because of the confidence they had. So for me, Asia Wilson should definitely be pumped up, be talked about. She should be the featured player of the WNBA. That's just bottom line. How you look at this. I don't care what team it is. You at Team USA, the WNBA, she should be the face of what everybody see. But we know how this go. Politics, money, blase, blase, trying to push Kelly Clark as the face. We get it, what's going on right now. But finally, she's getting her just due respects, because of Caitlin Clark. She's getting everything now, right?
Right. Right.
Nike should have been came out with a signature shoe, but now she's
True.
finally getting it.
True.
Nike should have been came out with a clothing line for her. Now they
Yep.
doing it.
Right.
She should have been getting these big time endorsement deals, $8, $10 million, $12 million. Now she's
True.
getting them. So she's getting it. It just took longer. But I feel like they should definitely she should definitely be recognized more.
That was a good point, Rod. You hit it that on the point. You hit it that on the nail, buddy. You hit it that on the nail. So, well, let's go back to Colorado for a little bit. It's a big talk out there. A lot of people don't think Jordan Seaton as a freshman should be starting, man.
So that's them. That's them. I don't know what. That's them.
They don't think he's ready. I don't understand that.
I mean, that's and again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But again, when you come from IMG, you're bred to be ready for college. It's not many kids that come from IMG you see go to other programs or go to college and they're not playing, because they've already been trained and trained to be ready. And not only did he do that, he didn't sit back on his morals of being the best offensive lineman or the best lineman in the class. He went in there in Colorado and he worked. He busted his behind. He lost weight. He put on more
Yeah.
muscle. He didn't just sit back and say, "Oh, I'm a 5-star. Give me that spot." You get what I'm saying? So no one can say, "Oh, that Jordan Seaton just been riding along and doing commercials and doing whatever he's doing." Everything this kid has done, he's done it the right way. He's busted his behind. And when you look at when they first got back from spring, that was one of the for the summer. That was the first thing I said. I said, "Boy, Seaton look good. Look at him running. Look at him
Yep.
in the front.
He in the
He the
front.
lead. When you he the lead dog. He the lead dog. So what we talking about? Like if y'all like, that's what I'm saying. Like people just sometimes you just gotta sit back and just sit back, don't say nothing, and watch. Let your eyes do the talking for you. And if you watch this kid shows you why he's gonna be a day one starter for the University of Colorado, and he wants to protect Shedeur. And those guys have a bond with that left. And you got to you putting your life on the line with that left tackle because
You
you get
do.
hit from the blind because getting hit from the blind side can end a quarterback's career. It can really do something to you. So I don't know why people would think that Seaton doesn't need to start. Seaton is showing you why he should be a starter on and off the field. His work ethic, everything that Seaton does, shows you he's a day one starter. So I don't know what they would be thinking why he shouldn't be, but to each his own. To each his own.
Right. Yeah.
I just want to know if he ain't supposed to start, who's supposed to start? That's what I want to know. Like, are you upset because you don't really see him on camera? He ain't out here talking crazy. He, in the weight room working. He traveling, he goes somewhere, he working. He's putting the work in. Because you don't see it in public eyes, I mean, it ain't getting put in. You can see on his performance level right now, hey, he came back, he understood what he took out the spring, that when it gets to this fall, it gets to summers, I want to be first. I'm not accepting nothing less. I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing the guys that's going to be next to me. So you talk about him not starting. It's hard for any incoming freshman to start, let alone you talk about offensive linemen. So he understands what he's got to go through, but he's got a great team and a great support system around him that's helping him push him to a different level.
Right.
Because one thing about the situation is he knows if he fails, it's going to be harder for Colorado to get players. And he knows that. He knows what he has to do to attract certain players to Colorado, to help them attract.
Right.
And everybody's going to be looking at him. The reason why everybody's going to be looking at him is because you can't look at Cormani no more, because Cormani ain't there.
Right.
So now everything weighs on Jordan T. Can you develop? Can he grow? Can he master what you're teaching him? How does he look? Because if we can see if we can see the growth, the maturity, his game go to another level at the University of Colorado, you're talking about a different level of recruiting.
Yeah, recruiting.
His success plays a lot to this team because he is the blind side to Shedeur. So a lot is weighing on him, and he knows all odds is going to be on him. One thing for sure, he ain't trying to go out there and look embarrassed.
Right. So, Rod, when you look at Colorado, what their strength is going to be the offensive side or the defensive side?
The way I see this team right now, the strength and the where they're putting their coaching pieces at that they keep adding, they keep adding it on the defensive side. So Coach Prime is thinking about the defense more than he's thinking about the offense. So I just look at the strength of the defense, the piece that everybody talked about the most. That's gonna be the part that they're gonna make sure they put the main focus on this year, and that's gonna be the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you one thing, Prime is tired of hearing about y'all talk about his boys, Coach Hart and Coach Mathis.
So you hear the noise too, huh?
They hear it, they see it.
They see it too, huh?
Go ahead, Dre.
I mean, it's the defensive side of the ball because offense put butts in seats, and that's what people come to see. But if your defense can't stop nobody, you can't win no games. If you can't get no stops and get your offense the ball back, you can't win no games. And like you say, you went and put emphasis on that side of the ball. You went and got an NFL caliber defensive coordinator, a young man that's hungry that wants to show you that he can coach at the best. And then you went and got a gold jacket to go up there and coach the defensive line to go with D. Lewis right now. And then you went out and you got another NFL player to go help your ends. So you put your emphasis over there, and then I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest defensive player. I'm the greatest defensive back to ever play the game of football. Maybe the best athlete to ever play in the NFL. So to go along with that. And I mean that's what it is. You know, we just gotta believe in what he's doing. He's done it before, guys. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. Like Rob said, you hear a lot of people say Mathis and Hart can't coach, and again, it's about the loyalty. It's about the respect. It's about these guys done came up together. Y'all went on them buses with them kids, and y'all didn't do this and do that. It's more to coaching than just the X's and O's, guys. If y'all just sitting here thinking that coaching and X's and O's, it is. Don't get me wrong, but it's way more to that. And those guys that went through that together, those guys will be together as long as they want to. Unless the only way I don't think I see them together is if one of them go off and be a head coach. If that if that's not the case, they'll be together because they've been through the storm and they came out on the other side. And he takes his brothers with him everywhere he goes. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And you go back and you watch, and he tells you that. That was another one of the reasons why I made the move to the Power Five because I wanted to make sure that my brothers were getting paid for the work that they were doing. They were being underpaid at Jackson for the work and the blood, sweat, and tears they were putting in. So he wanted to make sure those guys were getting paid the value that he felt they were worth. So I feel like we're great in the position that we in.
Okay. All right. God, that's all I got for tonight. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and participating in the chat also. Rod, you wanna
Yeah. Man, thanks everybody for supporting us. If you haven't joined we got a PS5 NCAA College Football League starting up when the game comes out. If you haven't joined, there's still a couple spots left open. There's still some actually good quality teams that people have not picked. Just get with us. If you see Jedi in the chat, or anybody, just shout out to Jedi. Or you can reach out to RobDaManMedia via any social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. You can email us. We ain't hard to find. But if you want to join our league, man, you can. There's still some great teams available. So don't miss out. There's going to be a payoff for winning a national championship each season. So hey, there's still some room. So just let us know if you're trying to join this PS5. If you got Xbox, we got a lead for you too. But Prime and Buff, who else we're partnering with, they're gonna do the Xbox, and we're gonna have the PlayStation 5 version. So get with us, and we'll get you in the right direction if you want to play. This goes for all gamers. So if you think you know what you know, and you a great GM, great coach, this, that, and third, man, come show your skills in RobDaManMedia's league.
We appreciate everybody for coming through and rocking with us every Sunday. I want to thank Duke for coming on and rocking with us again. Coach had a lot going on today. It's heavy recruiting time down here. They just passed the NIL, so my phone my phone is ringing off the hook down here in Florida, man. So it was crazy, but I was glad to get on here. Hey, don't put off what you can do today for tomorrow. Hey man, if you got somebody out there, I'm talking to somebody in your family that you ain't talked to, y'all holding a grudge against each other, this, that, and the third, man, fix that. Fix it. Not tomorrow. Try to fix it tonight. Or make sure you fix it in the morning. Because tomorrow is not promised to anybody. And the last thing you want on your conscience is to believe that you could have fixed something and that you couldn't. As I always say, man, if we send those ships out, those ships will come in. And if there's no contest, nobody can win. Games can be won if they haven't been played, and prayers can be answered if they haven't been prayed. I am your man, Coach Drake. That is my brother, Rob the Man. That is my brother, BWatts. You guys be blessed.
all right. Hey, appreciate y'all joining the show. Like, I want to say a special thanks to Phillip Dukes for on three for joining us again. And once again, I want to thank everybody who participated in the chat. And if you don't mind, go to Rod Man Media, hit that like button, subscribe to his channel if you haven't. Once again, I thank each one of you for tuning in. once again, I always say, if you be good to God, God will be good to you. And until next Sunday, y'all be blessed. Appreciate you, Rod.